Just hold on. Been to places that I'll never go. Seen some faces that I'll never know. I keep dancing, but it's just for show. Whoa. Look up at the sky full of stars. Close my eyes, I only see the dark. Tell myself I wanna seize the night. Alright, and we walk this road together, and I still feel like I'm alone. Just hold on, just hold on, just hold on, just hold on. Together, but I still feel like I'm alone. Just hold on, just hold on, just hold on. And we walk this road forever, and I can never find a home. Just hold on, just hold on, just hold on. Just hold on, just hold on, keep holding on. Just hold on. Can never find a home. Just hold on, just hold on, just hold on, just hold on. Control, will you help me? Feels like I might be losing my grip, boy. What you gonna say? What you gonna do when I lost control? We are lost. Yeah, we lost control. Yeah, we lost control. Love about a liquor boy, will you hit me up? I lost control. Will you help me? Love about a liquor boy, will you hit me up? lost control. Will you help me?
Hello and good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're from. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Porsche Cup Challenge Euro Global Division. We've got a great race for you coming at you tonight, today, this morning. If you're from the world down under, very early morning for Corey Lazarus, family and friends. I don't know if he's got any friends with him right now, but they can watch the race after and see how he does. And yeah, and joined with me in the broadcaster booth today, none other than Manrique Valverde.
Thank you very much for having me here. This is going to be a very interesting race. We've got the Hockenheim ring at the week 7. We have a lot of drivers in battling at the moment in the qualifying right now. Qualifying is going to be very, very tight. Philip Hammer at the moment with the 38.3 is very, very fast.
Very fast. And Manrique, you did this race in our Americas division on Thursday. How was that for you? How did it all go?
So it was very interesting. It was a very good race for me. I had a pole position, and the first heat, I got first place. But in the second, in the feature, I had a little bit of a problem. I had crashed, unfortunately, and dropped myself to 25th, or around the 20th, and climbed up to have a 5th position, I believe. So yeah, it was a very good race.
Definitely. And we've talked quite a bit about turn 2 and turn 6 and the dangers of that. And so, what are your thoughts for these drivers heading into these turns tonight?
So I believe the hairpin on lap one, it's gonna be very very difficult. The bricks are gonna be cold. The tire is gonna be also very very cold. So you have to be very very exact and very careful with the drivers in front of you, so you cannot go through the breaking point. And hopefully there will be no crashes tonight.
Yeah, definitely hoping no crashes. And we have a few drivers not here tonight watching the F1 race. The F1 race starts in, was it 20 minutes from this time? But, we can all predict what's going to happen. I'm sure it's going to be a red flag. It's going to be Latifi hits the wall, and you're going to be sitting there wishing that you were actually in your own race car here.
Yeah, I believe it's gonna be a very interesting race as well in the Formula One. We need to check to see how Mercedes they're gonna go with the Red Bulls as well. And I'm a Ferrari fan, so hopefully Charles or Carlos does a good job.
Yeah, what's happened to Ferrari lately? Mercedes been overtaking them.
Am I right? I believe that Mercedes are gonna be very very fast this week, especially because of the density of the air, and since the Mexico the GP, it's very very high, like in the sea level. They are very fast, and the speed they got in the straights, it doesn't get too low because of that reason. So it's gonna be great.
Definitely, definitely. And I'm looking at our standings for a pro and amateur of our Thursday Americas. You're right now in second place. So, that's a great job you've had all season long just to keep powering through, and get all the way up into second place behind none other than Patrick Kingston. And that's quite a feat that you've done. So, yeah, I just wanted to say great job so far on your amazing run in our Americas division.
Thank you very much. It's been a great championship. It's actually my first official championship I've got. So yeah, Patrick is a very very fast guy. He has done great races. We've had the Red Bull Ring with a great battle between the two of us. And but even though at the moment I believe that the level of the Aero and Global tonight, it's amazing. I'm actually astonished with the very high level these guys got. The Philip Hammer, Igor Kos, Jory Steinmetz. Unfortunately, we've not had tonight Benz Cypher, who is in third place at the moment in the championship, and will be, unfortunately, not be here tonight.
Yeah, it looks like he's sidelined with some technical issues with his car. We this is a true simulation, and we have to continue to uphold that.
So at the moment, we've got Philip Hammer, the 38.3 strong in the first place, 3/10 on Igor. Igor has done on practice, actually. Let me check. He did on practice 37.8, which is amazingly fast. Remember that these guys in qualifying only have 4 laps, so you need to be very careful. Also, not to burn, overdo their tires. So me myself, I think that is key to do 1 lap at a time. What I believe is that doing two laps, in one session, let's put it this way, the tires will not be the same, of course. So you can go to the pits strategy. Yeah, you can go to pits and redo. You lose 1 lap, of course, but that way you only have 2 very strong laps.
There's also,
which you need to be very careful.
Yeah, definitely. And I've actually played around with it a little bit myself. There's other options as well. Whereas if you go say 60% speed, 60%, so you're braking a little bit earlier, throttling up a little, quite a bit slower, and you can actually very effectively cool the tires down and then go for another hot lap. And so you lose a lap as well, but you don't have to do another out lap warming tires and all the different things. So that's also another very effective method if anyone's going to try that one as well. Another great strategy that you can also do is just go slow for your first lap, warm up the tires evenly, front, back, inside, outside, and you'll have a hell of a qualifying lap. And here we go. We've got our qualifying results now. I'm going to pull that right up so you can all see it. Philip Hammer, congratulations for that pole position with time at 1:38.383. Igor Koz in second place. I can't wait to see how turn 1, turn 2 go between these two heavyweight champions, or not champions, heavyweights. Soon to be champions between any of these drivers. I guess we'll see how that story plays out as the season continues along. Jerry Steinmetz in third place. Got Danny Hugendorn, Corey Lazarus, Ryan Winfeld, Lee Holmes, Alexander Wilford with a great lap from Alexander Wilford. Huge improvements from Wilford lately. That is an amazing lap. Gurkin Demir, Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay's further back than I expected, but this is, of course, a very, very tight field. Thorsten Seifert, Bjorn Ritter, Jason Lyons, Duncan Watts, Julian Wish, Carl Ribbing, our first time appearance in our global division. Glenn Humberstone, Alistair Hatcher. Let me scroll it down a little bit, and we've got Barry Clayton, Mikey Howenick, Misha Berger, Mark Oliver, and Manrique and Valverde is with me, so he's not out there.
We need to be very. We need to keep our eyes with Gordon Ramsay, who at the moment has a 10th place. Look at from 5th on. Well, no, look at from the 3rd in the spots right now to 10th. There's half a second. So very tight in the middle field. Hope these guys have a great race, a very good time, and I'm eager to see what the race can prepare for us.
Definitely, me too. It looks like all the cars are getting ready. They don't have a lot of time left to get back into their cars after going to the washroom, getting some water before the pre-race checkups and calm down the nerves. You don't want your heart rate too high, of course. It's when you start making way too many mistakes. And here you go. You got about 3 seconds left. Looks like everyone is on the grid, and the lights, it says green light, green flag, all good to go. And there's all those cars lined up. We've got the lights on the top middle of our screen. The lights are on. The lights are off, and away we go. Everyone's gotten away nice and clean. Some tire smoke, not too much. Philip Hammer's in the lead of this race, and everyone's just sorting themselves out nicely. 3 wide through corner 1, and Danny Hugendorn's now being challenged. Ryan Winfeld's and Corey Lazarus are shimmying for position. It's Danny Hugendorn. Oh, he's not able to make the dive up on Winfield. And it looks like everyone's gotten away nice and cleanly. Look at that.
A great start from Philip Hammer as well from Igor Koz. They're 1-2 at the moment. Since they remember that the Heat 1 is only 15 minutes, they have to be very careful. This are open right now. At the moment, we have a very difficult
and
race.
Here we go. Oh, and that's unfortunate for Ryan Winfeld and Danny Hugendorn. A little bit of a blown braking zone from Gurkin Demir, and it's done a little bit of a huge shuffle of our field, and we somewhat expected that to happen. We never want it to happen, but it happens, unfortunately. And oh no, that was definitely a brave dive to the inside. Do I see tire smoke? Someone's gone off? Nope.
Yeah, if I'm not wrong, it was Alexander Wilford, if I'm not wrong, in the white car, who had a missed chance over the exiting the Mercedes curve, but he made a fantastic save.
Yeah, it's the challenge of this car in the cold tires, and here you can see we've now got all these cars are back to behaving themselves. Ryan Winfeld's up back, recovered some spots up to 17th. Danny Hugendorn's in 20th. And we just have a long line of cars now following along with Glenn Humberstone and Danny Hugendorn directly behind, and Barry Clayton in tow. Looks like Mark Oliver chose not to start. Danny Hugendorn going for a pass. He's trying to regain some of those spots. Mikey Howenick is up 2 spots, and there's a nice clean pass from Danny. Mikey Howenick is in the very back. Brian Winfeld's made a few passes as well. He's now up in the 16th, taking the spot off of Carl Ribbing. Mikey Howenick trying to do the exact same, but just having a nice conservative drive in the back, it's looking like, for car 187.
Gordon Ramsay have been also 1 position up. We need to keep our eyes with Gordon Ramsay. He's also battling for the 4th spot on the championship. and even with more recent, he needs to be very careful at this race because Benz, who is one spot in front of him in the championship, who is third, he's not here with us tonight, unfortunately. So he needs to do a good race.
Yeah, definitely, and we can see that the field has spread out just a little bit. Oh, and here you go, Gordon Ramsay being challenged by Lee Holmes, and Gordon Ramsay having a shorter distance to travel is going to have that huge advantage to stay ahead. But you can see Lee Holmes is wanting to make a move, and he wants that spot. He is not going to let Gordon have it easy, and this is going to be a hard, tough. What is that? 12, 13, 14 minutes for... that's 12 minutes for Gordon Ramsay. It's not going to be an easy time for him going forward. Lee Holmes is not going to give it to him easy. Gurkin Demir directly behind, and Julian Witch is right there as well. There's quite a train of cars on his tail. But that's exactly where Gordon Ramsay likes to be. He likes to be ahead. He likes that competition, gets his blood going, and that's his happy place. Jumping up ahead, we've got Philip Hammer, who's still in the lead of this race, followed by Igor Koz and Yuri Steinmetz. They are not letting him go easy. So this is going to be quite a battle to the end. I think the draft is definitely going to continuously pull these guys into this vacuum here and keep them all together. So definitely going to have to keep coming back to this battle to see how this plays out as the race goes on.
Yeah, seeing up in front, Philip Hammer, Igor Koz, and Yuri Steinmetz. They are very, very close racing in between the top three at the moment. A very strong race for Philip. Igor, even though he is very, very fast as well, and half a second between them. 3 tenths at the moment. Yuri Steinmetz with the fastest lap at the moment with 39.3. Very, very fast for being in just a race.
And here goes Misha Berger around the outside on Alistair Hatcher, able to make it stick. And what a beautiful, beautiful pass from the likes of Misha Berger on Alistair Hatcher. And now Duncan Watts is now looking at how to make a pass as well on Alistair Hatcher, trying to open up that same doorway. Ryan Winfield, recovery drive for Ryan Winfield to try and get into that top 8 reverse grid. Now trying to push the situation too wide in turn 1, thinks better of it, backs out, and he's going to wait for later.
Let's check out the battle in front at the moment. Philip Hammer with the first place, Igor Koz with the slipstream. Let's check it out if he makes the dive bomb at the hairpin, and it seems that he does.
And Igor does go for the inside. He wants first position. He's not going to give it to him easy. But Philip Hammer got an excellent exit out of that hairpin. And so he may go right back for that. Oh, and is he going to go for the inside? He is. Igor is going to let him have it. He backs out just a little bit. And now Igor has stuck the pass, and he's now ahead. For how
Very
long, we don't know.
For Jory to also keep there. To be consistent with his lap times. These guys are battling in front of him, so he needs to also be very, very consistent on the next corners as well.
And here we go, Jason Lyons making a move on the inside of Thorsten Seifert, not able to make it stick. A little bit of door bang, and that's okay. We've got full-bodied cars here, a little bit of touching, that's okay. Rubbing's not exactly racing, but if, no harm, no foul if everyone's still going forward, still on the track, and so yeah. But unfortunately for Jason Lyons, that's brought Misha Berger right up the rear bumper of him. And he's got a lot of trouble on his hands now with basically a 3-car battle heading on to our final sequence of corners to our front straight. And in that slipstream, it's going to be real interesting to see how this plays out.
So, impressive performance by Misha Berger, who made a 21st in qualifying. He did do a lap time, and he's up in 13. Kudos to Misha Berger, a very interesting race ahead of him.
Misha Berger thinking about that inside, but thinking better of it. Oh, and here you go. Ryan Winfield's making a move on Duncan Watts, and now he's got a perfect slipstream for Alistair Hatcher. And let's see how this plays out as they head down that back straight. Mikey Hownick, of course, is in the back of this group, and here you go with Ryan Winfield up the right side of Alistair Hatcher. gonna make that dive under braking. You can see the cars under braking, compressing that front end, going around that very tight hairpin, and there you go. And Ryan Winfeld has made it through, and Mikey Hownick's gonna have a 3 wide situation.
Yeah, let's see who gives up at the inside at the moment. Mikey Hownick, we know him very fast on the North America season, and also a very, very fast driver on here as well.
Definitely, and he's still hanging out side by side with Alistair Hatchery. He's choosing to give up the overlap and thinking about making a pass at another point in time.
Impressive performance by Igor Kos at the moment, who, even though he didn't maybe got the start that he wanted, he did made a fantastic pass on Philip Hammer, and he has pulled a couple cars lengths, 7/10 at the moment, and 2 seconds on Jory Steinmetz.
Yeah, and we're going to follow along with Lee Holmes and Gordon Ramsay real quick. These two drivers are right next to each other with Bjorn Ritter in the lead of them. Car 941, it looks like he's got the same paint as Philip, as Julian, Thorsten. There's a few, and I guess they're all on the same team. Makes sense then they'd have the same paint. And I actually believe I was talking to Julian Wish a few weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, and he was saying that he actually went to Hockenheim in person, so he's got some real life experience on this track. And wow. And there goes a little bit wide of Bjorn Ritter. Looks like a little bit of a mistake under braking, or maybe a bump from behind. I'm not quite sure, but that is fortunately not too many positions lost.
There's also a battle at the 16 and 15th spot. Mikey Hownick recovering from Alistair Hatcher. They have a very interesting battle between the two of them, and that's great. Remember that Jason Lyons at the moment is in the first place for amateur on the championship, and he has a 12th spot at the moment.
Yeah, Jason Lyons having a great run in 12th spot. It looks like he's up 1 position. Misha Berger directly behind him is up 8 spots total. So Misha's having the drive of his life. And getting a little bit wild, a little bit too excited on that throttle. And we're going to have to see if that's going to hurt his tires in the long run. Luckily, it's only a 15-minute race, but driving like that in the 30-minute race, that's living life on the edge. So we're going to have to see how that goes along for Misha Berger as we go on. Lee Holmes closer than ever to Gordon Ramsay, getting an excellent exit out of turn 2. And is he gonna have enough of a run to get some overlap? I don't think so. Does it look like he has some damage on his car? I don't know.
That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like at the rear end, if I'm not wrong.
Oh no! A little bit of a kerfuff. I want to see exactly what happened. We just caught the tail end of that. Let's just take a look at what happened with Duncan Watts, Danny Hugendorn and Duncan Watts. Oh, Danny just got a little bit wild, a little bit excited on his throttle, lost the rear end, and that's unfortunate for Duncan Watts to be collected in that. And I guess that's just racing. That's how it goes sometimes, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. That's how racing goes sometimes. Sometimes it's very, very painful to also have like a driver, or having lots of hours on practice days before the actual race, and sometimes just luck isn't on the side of the driver sometimes. So yeah. And sometimes you have to just, it takes a little bit of practice, but you have to eventually get to the point where you make your own luck. And that's not an easy place to get to. It takes a lot of practice to get that. And you have to somehow buy a magic rabbit's foot or something. And yeah. It's also very nice to see when drivers have like a good race stint. Their lap times are also consistent.
And here you go.
Careful.
Look at this. Lee Holmes going up the inside of Gordon Ramsay into turn 2. Gordon Ramsay is now being challenged for 6th position. And it looks like Lee Holmes got an excellent run. So let's see who's going to pick the inside, who's going to pick the outside. I'm going to have to guess that Gordon wants that inside line. Is Lee Holmes gonna get that overlap? He is. He's gonna, oh, come on. And he's gonna go for the dive up the inside under braking. And this is anybody's guess how this is gonna go. Gordon Ramsay got the better of it under braking, but now they still have overlap. But Gordon, I think, got an excellent exit and was just able to stay ahead. And
this is also very interesting because remember that this is also for the second and third grid spot for the feature race. So they need to be also very careful where they would like to start in the inside and the outside, and having a great start is tactical.
Yeah, I've never really thought about that. If you want to start on the left or the right, or would you even give up a position in our sprint? I personally wouldn't. Every position matters. Every point matters. But I can see some drivers may want to give up one spot or something just to have a more favorable feature. Definitely not what I would do, but I can see some people might do that.
The battle up in front with Igor Koz, who had a great lap time, 39.9, even though Philip Hammer, 39.6. We have almost the final lap. We're going to see the first and second spot right now.
Here we go into turn 2. This is our final lap, and this is the battle for the lead. Yuri Steinmetz has lost a lot of time to the leaders. He's 4 seconds back, and so he doesn't quite have the ability to challenge for the win of this sprint race. Philip Hammer is right here. Igor's trying to break that draft, shimmy himself left and right. Philip Hammer's not letting him have it. Is he going to make the dive under braking? No. Philip Hammer is going to think better of it. He's going to tuck in behind Igor and try and get a run out of this hairpin, and it looks like he's successful. He's closer than ever coming out of this hairpin, heading towards Mercedes corner. This is flat out around this right hand bend, and is Philip Hammer going to do it? He's not. He's going to hold on and stay behind, and that is interesting strategy.
It's an awesome race from Igor Koz at the moment. A very they're up in they're wide. They're going at the stadium right now.
Oh,
let's see if Philip does a dive bomb over here.
Does Philip want the lead? Does he want that win? Oh, he tries to. Is this an over-under happening? Oh, I don't think it's Igor throwing the defensive lines and just not letting car number 60 through. And I can't wait to see how this feature goes with the reverse grid top 8. But this is absolutely wild, beautiful racing from the likes of these two drivers. Igor Koz coming up on top. Congratulations for the win of this race. Igor Koz and Philip Hammer in second. Yuri Steinmetz in third. Corey Lazarus in fourth. Alexander Wilford. Commanding drive from this amateur driver, Alexander Wilford in fifth, Gordon Ramsay in sixth, Lee Holm in seventh, Bjorn Ritter in eighth. We've got Gurkin Demir in ninth. Gurkin Demir in ninth, Julian Witch in 10th, Thorsten Seifert in 11th, Jason Lyon 12, Ryan Winfeld 13, Misha Berger 14, Mikey Hownick coming across in 15, Alistair Hatcher is he coming across? He's already come across, I think. Yeah, he has. In 16th, Carl Ribbing in 17th, Barry Clayton in 18th, Duncan Watts in 19th, Danny Hugendorn wishing he could take that one back all the way down in 20th, Glenn Humberstone in 21st. Mark Oliver chose not to start. I'm not sure why. Maybe he went to go watch the Red Flag F1 race.
Amazing race by Alexander Wilford. As you said, on the amateur, at the standings at the moment for amateur, he is second, even though with a very, very good result with fifth spot. To me, fifth spot over here in the Oval and the Global Championship is impressive. Being amateur, and also, even though Alexander Wilford at the moment with 4,300 of I rating, you can see how top the level is at the moment.
Definitely. And the way we classify in our league, of course, the pro and the amateur, is you have 3 chances to qualify for our top and premier level, our pro level. If you're within, your qualifying lap is within 101% or 1% of the VRS lap time of the week, you qualify yourself for our pro division. And the benefit of that, of course, is higher prize monies. And basically, you've also qualified yourself for pro status, which is a huge achievement all on its own. And so after the 3 races, whichever division you've qualified yourself into is where you're at. We don't want to punish any driver for improving as the season goes on. So if you are an amateur or in pro or whatever it is after those first 3 races, that is your division. So if an amateur driver after say 7-8 weeks all of a sudden gains a lot of pace, gets a lot better, we don't want to punish them for that. They are still an amateur driver, and they've improved. This next season, if they choose to come back, they'll qualify at their current pace in the pro division, and that pretty much just solves their problem. That problem there. But like I said, I don't want to punish a driver who improves. Just the last thing we want to do. So they do stay in amateur driver as the season goes on.
Awesome. Very, very interesting race ahead of us. They need to be all very careful about their drive on the tires, also on the brakes. 3 seconds left.
Actually, let's take a quick look at their grid. We can see who's in first, who's in second, that's third, and so on our grid. Got the lights going up. We got 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 light. Let's get rid of that, and away we go. And the cars are off. We got Bjorn Ritter and Lee Holmes all in the lead here to start this race. Coming through turn 1, it looks like Gordon Ramsay is up there as well. Alexander Wilfort's in 4th. Oh, we have a little bit of a...
There was a crash over there with Igor, and if that was a Gordogan Demir as well. Very, very, very difficult at the moment.
Igor is just having real bad luck this season, especially with these reverse grids. It's definitely been a real challenge for him. But Philip Hammer, all the way up into 4th position already, he's definitely found a way to make his own luck here. And you got Lee Holmes is in the lead of this race. We have a whole bunch of 2 wide, 3 wide. Corey Lazarus forcing the issue, going 3 wide through that hairpin. Oh, and Ryan Winfeld with Mikey Howenick, a little bit of a door banging. And I'm curious how this goes into Mercedes' corner.
In front, let's see, because at the moment Bjorn Ritter, Lee Holmes, and Gordon Ramsay battling in the top 3 right now in the first race. Remember, they all need to be very careful. I'm sorry.
But Mikey Howenick and Ryan Winfeld, they are not giving up. They are actually battling it out still through Mercedes' corner, and Igor Koz directly behind them. So this is going to get real spicy. The leader of our amateur division, Jason Lyons, is now being attacked by Igor Koz. Igor Koz making the dive up the inside and just taking it easy. Oh, and now they're going through the stadium 2 wide. Jason Lyons and Igor Koz. It's anybody's guess how this is going to turn out. Jason Lyons is on the inside line, so it's a shorter distance traveled, and a little bit of an over-under from Igor Koz on Jason Lyons going across our start-finish line. And, oh no. And now you can see Thorsten Seifert is directly behind and starting to think about how to make a pass as well from all of these doors being opened.
What a battle, and what a start from Philip Hammer. Up 3 positions at the moment from 7th to 4th, and he's knocking Gordon Ramsay. He's saying hello, he's looking at his mirrors. He is very aware that Philip Hammer has a very good pace, and also a battle at the front. Bjorn Ritter and Lee Holmes in the hairpin.
Here we go. It looks like Bjorn Ritter is making a pass on Lee Holmes in the hairpin. The last lap, it was Lee Holmes making that move, and now it's Bjorn Ritter making that move, and that's opening up the door, I think, for Philip Hammer to start walking through. And it looks like Danny Hugendorn having another real bad run at it. Oh, and able to thread that needle somehow. I'm not sure how that one happened, but let's just take a look at how that started. Looks like Alistair Hatcher and Danny Hugendorn. Danny Hugendorn pulls over. Oh, under braking. It looks like Carl Ribbing. Oh, Carl Ribbing blew his brake point and just tapped Danny behind. Just a little bit of an unfortunate incident, and it just sometimes happens. That's the danger of that heavy braking zone. Going from your top speed of 260 kilometers an hour all the way down to about 60. Absolutely wild.
Yeah, amazing. At the moment, we have around 6 cars, like in the same group, in the same pack. So they are all very aware of the drivers in front and who is making mistakes. Mistakes are very, very punished over here. You cannot overdo the mistakes, so you also need to be very, very careful with the off tracks.
Oh, and Philip Hammer's making a move. Philip Hammer's making the move on Gordon Ramsay.
Amazing.
Oh, amazing. And that's opening up the door for even Corey Lazarus and Yuri Steinmetz to start taking a look. Oh, and Philip Hammer has the inside going towards this hairpin. So it's anybody's guess how this is going to turn out. Corey Lazarus, this is by 2x2 through the hairpin. Heavy braking zone. You can see the cars compress under braking. Gordon Ramsay is now down one more spot from where he started. Philip Hammer is through.
What a race we had ahead of us.
Wow, and we've got Corey Lazarus and Yuri Steinmetz. They're going too wide into Mercedes corner with Alexander Wilford directly behind, ready to take advantage of anything that happens. And Yuri Steinmetz makes the better of it on the inside under braking.
You can all check that Bjorn Ritter and Lee Holmes doesn't have like a fastest lap at the moment because their lap times have been let's say declined or invalidated because of the off tracks. At the moment, Ryan Winfield with 39.4. Oh, and we had smoke. We had smoke over there entering the stadium. Let's see who that was. It was Igor Kos. Igor Kos, the one who won. The one who won in the first race.
Let's just take a quick look at how that happened. Oh, Igor Kos made a dive up the inside and was not for the better in this situation. Yeah. It looks like on Mikey Haunik. And and that's an unfortunate situation for both of those drivers.
Yeah, unfortunately for Mikey Haunik, who had at the moment had a top 10 temporarily. Unfortunately, he's over there at the pits with his race all blew up.
I gotta say, it's definitely a tough corner. Make it too wide work, or even any kind of move up the inside. That may be one for the stewards. We'll have to see, but interesting place to try and make a move. Sometimes it can work, sometimes it can't work, and in that situation, it just didn't work.
Amazing race at the moment by Philip Hammer. Gordon Ramsay almost hit him. He outbraked himself just a tiny bit, and Yuri Steinmetz is also going to be making the move at the moment in the Mercedes curve.
Oh, okay, so we've now fallen along. So Bjorn Ritter is still in the lead of this race with Lee Holmes in tow, Philip Hammer in third, Gordon Ramsay in fourth, Yuri Steinmetz in fifth, This is an 8-car battle for the lead, basically. Every one of these cars very much in contact, very much in contention. Even all the way back to, P9, Julian Wish is in ninth position here with 1.8 seconds gap to P8. So all the way back to P9, I would say every one of these drivers has a chance to win this race with any kind of mistakes from any of these drivers. If there's any kind of racing incidents or anything that happens, a lot can happen. And and Bjorn Ritter, I gotta say, what a drive he is having. He started in first position, and with this field that he's got behind him, to keep them behind him, absolute amazing driver from our amateur division driver here, Bjorn Ritter.
Yeah, impressive. Actually, having this very, very strong field at the moment. Philip Hammer just did a 39.7. Also was invalidated because of the off track, so he is pushing. We know that he's very fast. He made a very, very good race, and he's the championship leader at the moment for a reason.
And here we've got Yuri Steinmetz and Corey Lazarus going too wide into the hairpin. Anybody's guess how this is going to turn out. It looks like Corey Lazarus has the inside. Yuri Steinmetz is definitely the winner under braking, able to get a much better exit out of that hairpin. But of course, going too wide, you lose a lot of pace on this track when you go too wide, when you force the issue. And that's brought the likes of Alexander Wilford and Ryan Winfield into their fight. Ryan Winfield, he's going for that dive up the inside. Ryan Winfield being very aggressive under braking, and Alexander Wilford being on his toes, able to avoid collision. That is a very aggressive move and ended up working, and Ryan Winfield is through Alexander Wilford. Ryan Winfield, both those names sound quite similar, don't they?
So I believe that Ryan Winfield has a very, very interesting race ahead of him. He got a 39.4 at the moment, the fastest lap of the race, and he knows he's quick. He knows he's quick. He needs to be also very careful, not only with the off tracks, but the consistency, being very consistent with the pace he got, and also making sure he got the drivers ahead of him making the move.
Here we go, following along with Bjorn Ritter at the lead of our drivers list here. Heading into turn 2, going along that back straight any second now, and all these cars very, very close. I'm gonna have to put mine down on the table and bet that Philip Hammer is gonna try and take one more position, get up into second. And we've got 21 minutes left of the race. The quicker he can do it, the better. Then he can start looking at how to start walking away and take a win in the feature. And and here you go, Philip Hammer up the inside, backing out just slightly just to give a little bit of room, but now he's got that inside position. Oh, and he's backing out once again. He's just deciding to wait because it is a long race. You don't want to kill yourself too early, and there we have it.
So I believe this is a very important part of the race for Lee Holmes, because even though he knows that Philip Hammer is fast, Bjorn Ritter, with the with the clash and the collision and everything, and the battle between the second and third place, Bjorn Ritter with his pace can go quicker.
And we see here Jason Lyons and Gurkan Demir are duking it out. Their gloves are off, and these guys are fighting it out every bit of the way. Gurkan Demir making that dive up the inside in this corner, and Jason Lyons, these two are just swapping positions. They are not holding back at all. And you can totally see it. They are both driving full out, and they both want this 11th position.
Very interesting race for Ryan Winfield at the moment. 40.0. He is quicker. He's quicker than the guys in front. He's gonna catch them and see Philip Hammer at the moment. Top 5 at the moment, top 6 even, battling for the lead.
Yeah, he is closer than ever. He was much closer this lap than he was last lap. And let's see if he's able to get some overlap, go for that inside or at the outside, whichever position Lee Holmes gives him. It looks like he's going to try and go for that inside. He's going to try and snag another spot under braking into this hairpin. Is Philip Hammer able to gain the overlap? He's gained the overlap. He's making the pass, and away he goes. Lee Holmes getting a little bit wild under braking. This is going to be very interesting as they go towards Mercedes corner. Too wide. Gordon Ramsay's with his happy face helmet. Oh, and he's taking the dive up the inside. Gordon Ramsay's trying to walk through all these doorways that have been opened, and this is opening Pandora's box here for this battle for third and second.
That is exactly what I was mentioning to you. 9/10 at the moment is the gap between the first and second place, just between this lap only, because of the battle for the second place. And also, this is a very good battle for Ryan Winfield as well, who he is catching. 2.9 seconds at the moment, gap between the first and the 7th place.
Wow. So let's head back up to this front pack, because this is getting real spicy real fast. These guys are going all out, and they're just poking noses everywhere. This is absolutely wild. I'm absolutely speechless at this is, I don't know, it's lovely.
Lap times for at the moment for the top 3, 40, 48, 49, and Ryan Winfield with a 42. He is quick.
Definitely. And but you can only be as quick as the cars in front of you now that he's 4/10 behind Corey Lazarus. And it sounds like Ryan Winfield is definitely one of your favorite drivers. The way that you do keep bringing him, I guess he's a favorite of yours. You drive against him on Thursdays, and what is it that you like about him?
To be 100% honest with you, I just like the race he has. He has a very interesting race, and if I were racing at the moment, and if I were Ryan Winfield, this is critical. This is awesome. This is a very good place to be at the moment, where all the 6 drivers in front are battling, but you know that you're faster. You need to be very careful with the tires, with the brakes, and also with the off tracks.
Definitely. And Philip Hammer is closer than ever. Gordon Ramsay is a little bit further back, being challenged by Yuri Steinmetz. This is anybody's guess how all of it. This is only 13 minutes in. We still have another 17 minutes racing.
Philip Hammer is closer than ever, as you said. I believe that he's going to make the move on the hairpin again, but the Lee Holmes under braking, he is very good at.
Yuri Steinmetz's making a move on Gordon Ramsay. Corey Lazarus starting to think about how to make a move, and that's taken a lot of pressure off of the likes of Philip Hammer, who now has a gap large enough that he can make nice, good decisions to try and get by into second place. So that's all
Exactly.
this battling back here is helping him out.
So a couple laps ago, we had a top 6, top 7 pack, let's say, and now the top 3 are under 6 tenths at the moment, and it falls under Joris Steinmetz, who is 4th at the moment. And here we go. Philip Hammer in the 2nd spot.
Philip Hammer making easy work this time round, not so easy all the other tries, but this one finally successful on getting by Lee Holmes. Lee Holmes had an excellent drive holding off someone such as the Hammer this long. Just absolutely wonderful drive from the likes of Lee Holmes. It's not an easy task, when it's hammer time, and he was able to hold off the Hammer Turtle for a while, and now he's through. So now Philip Hammer's got Bjorn Ritter. And Bjorn Ritter, wow, having a beautiful drive. It looks like, are these guys going to do some sort of team orders? They have the same paint scheme here. Or are they going to really duke it out and not give it to him easy? I'm real curious, to be honest.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe they have a very good race ahead of them. Even though they seem to be teammates, in the race, we are all battling. We are all wanting to win. And I believe Philip Hammer will push, and he might get the first position in this lap.
Let's see. They have a bit of a gap to Yuri Steinmetz, who broke through the likes of Gordon Ramsay, the Scotland Yard back there. And looks like Gordon Ramsay is being challenged by Corey Lazarus up the inside into turn 2. Oh, and Gordon Ramsay able to make the best of that, but Corey Lazarus is real close, and he's gonna have the ability, I'm sure, to make a little bit of a weaving, trying to figure out who's in what lane position. Gordon wants the inside. Corey Lazarus is going to be forced to the outside under braking. Corey really wants that inside.
Yeah, what a pass, and what a moment also for Philip Hammer, who he is in the first place at the moment. Even though, remember that they're battling for the first position, Gordon Ramsay is also having a very difficult time passing Corey Lazarus, and Ryan Winfield is catching as well. They touch! Gordon Ramsay at the wall! They touch!
A little bit of a touch with Corey Lazarus and Gordon Ramsay. Just an unfortunate situation. That was basically just kickboxing all out, gloves off. The feet were flying, the hands were flying, and it was just an unfortunate situation for Gordon Ramsay. A little bit of a touch from Corey Lazarus, and Corey Lazarus just luckily getting the best of it luckily for him. Unluckily for Gordon.
I believe Lee Holmes has overcooked his tires in this lap specifically because Joris Steinmetz has the 4th place at the moment, and it's now a 4-group pack at the front.
And just before they get to the hairpin once again, I want to take a quick look at the pass of Philip Hammer on Bjorn Ritter just up the inside, and this was the pass for the lead. You can see Gordon Ramsay and Corey Lazarus duking it out in the back, and that was just the pass for the lead of this race by Philip Hammer, and yeah, away they go.
So we remember at the first lap of the race where Danny Hookerdorn had an unfortunate incident. He was at some point in front of last or a lot of places at the back, and now he's 10th.
Oh, so he's up 10 spots. He started in 20th. He's now up 10 spots. He's got Gordon Ramsay in front of him. Gordon Ramsay has some damage, so let's see if Danny's able to make easy work of this or not. It looks like Corey Lazarus
yeah.
I'm going to have to take a look at what happened there. I'll go, where is it?
Was it with Ryan Winfield as well?
Yep. So, where there's smoke, there's a car spinning. No fire here, just the car spinning. A little bit excited on the throttle, and it just didn't pay off, trying to stay ahead. Getting a little bit desperate on that throttle, guys. Oh, and there's Danny Hockenheim. Maybe that little bit of a broadcaster's curse for, Captain Tinder over here with his picture at Spa. But now he's lost the nice draft he had on Gordon Ramsay, and but still in 10th spot. It's not a horrible place to be. Now
Yeah.
following along
Oh,
with,
there was a spin. Lee Holmes. Yeah, it was Lee Holmes in Sud curve in the last corner.
let's see exactly what happened. Here's Lee Holmes. Oh, and just a little bit of a self spin, I think. Let's find out. Let's go a little bit backwards. Oh yeah, he just spun on his own, and that was it. That was the end of his run in P3 or something, was it? But
Yeah, P3, P4. I'm impressed with the performance of Bjorn Ritter. Remember that he finished 8th in the first race, started first, pole position for the feature, and he has good rhythm. He has a very good rhythm at the moment. Philip Hammer, of course, very solid at the top spot. And let's see if by any chance Jory Steinmetz can make the move on Bjorn Ritter in the next couple laps.
and it sounds like we've got a favorite amateur driver for you in car number 941, Bjorn Ritter. So we've got a favorite pro driver from you of Ryan Winfeld and Bjorn Ritter for amateur. So yeah.
Very, very good race for the two of them. I believe that both of them had done an impressive performance, and it's totally on them. It's a very good pace for both Bjorn Ritter in the amateur and Ryan Winfeld not taking anything bad on the first place, because Philip Hammer is way too solid. He is great. Championship leader for a reason. Joris Steinmetz with the pressure on Bjorn Ritter for the second spot.
Oh no, where's Ryan Winfeld going? Oh, it looks like he's got to stop for a Frosty at the Wendy's on the drive-thru. Or maybe he's going for some damage. I don't know. Maybe there's a quick repair he needs. But that's going to... Oh, he missed his pit stop.
Yeah. What could have happened? Because you don't do just a pit stop just because, you know. More likely he had a meatball flag.
He must have had a meatball. And here we go, Bjorn Ritter and Yuri Steinmetz going up the inside into the hairpin on Bjorn Ritter, trying to take out one more position. Yuri Steinmetz now up 4 total, and he's now got an opportunity to challenge Philip Hammer for the lead of this race if he can get up there. But Bjorn Ritter is still very, very close. He may make a move into Mercedes' corner. It's anybody's guess. Is he going to back out? I don't think so. Oh, and he actually does. It looks like he's going to take the draft that Yuri offers and follow it back up to the likes of Philip Hammer.
So it's actually very interesting to also be very, very patient. Even though we had 8 minutes left of the race, maybe Bjorn Ritter can also think, okay, maybe Joris Steinmetz can be a little bit faster than me, and maybe we can catch Philip Hammer. So you need to be also checking in on the drivers up in front, their pace, not only yours.
Definitely, it's not always easy to give it up and just go tuck in behind. Sometimes it's definitely the better option, the better strategy. It's hard to recognize that in the moment, and I think Bjorn Ritter made a good call by making that decision in that moment, and it offers a lot of opportunity for him going forward with 8 minutes left in this race.
This lap time for Joris Steinmetz was faster than the lap time of Philip Hammer. Can he catch him? We're going to find out.
I'm going to pull up everyone's best time right now. And you can see on the screen, you got Ryan Winfeld out. Wow, Ryan Winfeld actually had the best time of the race. Yuri Steinmetz just a little bit faster than Philip Hammer for best lap. But of course, getting to the finish line is who can do that consistently the fastest, not just one time.
Critical. Yeah. Very good race by Danny Hugendorn, who has been from 20th to 7th. Remember the incident he had in turn 4, in the hairpin, and he had a great pace.
Definitely, and I'm following along with Julian Witch up the inside. And Gurkan Demir blowing his braking zone big time and going through the field of cars. Lee Holmes, where did Lee Holmes go? It looks like he's just disconnected.
No.
That's unfortunate. And Julian Witch has now got a nice stress-free drive ahead of him. He's up 1 position total into 9th. And this German driver he's got an easy easy drive to the finish now. Well, not too easy, of course, with Jason Lyons in tow. But this is a lot of stress is now off of his shoulders.
Last lap time for Philip Hammer 39.7, and jury's time it's 39.9.
Here we got Misha Berger I'm following along with, and Barry Clayton going too wide. Oh, and it looks like Barry Clayton's giving up the position just to go tuck in behind and try and gain it back later. Barry Clayton looks like he's up 1 position total. Misha Berger is down 2 spots from where he started. We haven't seen much of Misha Berger this season, and this crazy car, this crazy paint that your eyes get lost in it every single time. It's absolutely wild. I don't know how long that one took to paint, but oh boy. Oh, boy.
100%. I think livery of my favorite livery must be the one for the Philip Hammer. A very nice livery. I don't know if that actually is real. It looks real.
My understanding is Philip Hammer and all the guys with that paint. And here you see Ryan Winfield making a move up the inside, and Danny Hugender getting a little too excited under the braking. And Danny's able to take that spot right back from Ryan Winfield. By my understanding of that paint is that a real life team is the one that supplied that paint, and this real life team goes to track days at Hockenheim and so on with cars that all of the drivers on this team are able to drive in real life on real track days. And I know that Julian Witch was at one of these track days recently at Hockenheim, I believe it was. So I'd love to actually hear one day what cars he was able to drive, how that went, and yeah.
Impressive. I mean, seeing and knowing that drivers are also active in real life, that is amazing to know. We have at the moment Alistair Hatcher and Gurkan Demir battle for the 12th and 13th spot, and Carl Ribbing and who is I lost him for a minute. Is this Mikey Haunik, who he's a lap under, he's a lap behind.
Yeah, he's a lap under. Yeah, he's a lap under, I think. Let me see. Let's go back to that battle. Yeah, he is a lap under. And Carl Ribbing does know Mikey Hownick from Thursday. So Carl Ribbing just letting him by, and he wants to follow him through all those gaps that he creates, I'm sure. But Carl Ribbing also has a little bit of damage on his front bumper.
Very nice race as well from Alexander Wolfert. 4th at the moment. Very good lap times. He has done an impressive job.
Definitely. And we're talking a little bit about racing in real life, and I believe you have some real life experience as well in karting, I think it is.
Yeah, so
how young were you when you started?
So I was 9. My first race, I was 9. I've raced in karting only in Costa Rica, unfortunately. The level of karting in Costa Rica is quite high for being like a Central America country, let's say. And fortunately, I can say that my entire family is part of the racing life over here. At the moment, there is not actively racing in cars because there have been a lot of economic problems and a lot of issues with it. But
yeah, definitely. Yeah. A lot of challenges for a lot of people, and I guess there's just some things that have to be given up when those times when they come along, you know. And at least we have things such as this to really scratch that itch.
100%. And even though I haven't myself tested a Porsche Cup in the real life or neither of these tracks in real life, I can say that iRacing prepares you for real life experience. There's a lot of drivers who've been only in simulator, and then when they got to the actual track, they feel in some way familiar with the feeling. They know how to recover maybe a car, or know how much brake pressure they need to put in under. Also, what I believe iRacing has the best thing is that it prepares you mentally for the race, for the actual passing, for not cracking under pressure. Even though it's a real life experience, iRacing with its high level and not with Porsche Cup Challenge on this beautiful championship we've got ahead of us. I believe is impressive the level we got.
Definitely, and this car has no assists. I say it every week, pretty much, but it's so true. This car has no assists. It has no ABS, no traction control, and to learn how to drive these cars fast, consistently, just as these guys are week after week with the same people, offers a level of learning not found anywhere else. I guarantee you that. So anyone thinking about racing with us, sometimes there are things that happen, that unfortunate incidents. It's hard to avoid that. None of us are perfect, but outside of that, they're all learning experiences still. But the level of learning available through our formats, it's unmatched. So if you're thinking about joining, just join, and you'll thank us later.
No, I'm very, very happy. If you're hearing us and you're thinking, hey, I might join, but I don't know, the strength of field or maybe the drivers are too good. Nah, don't even think about it. There's always opportunity for you. You'll be more than welcome to join the championship. And the good thing about having a good championship with good drivers in it is that it also prepares you for the next race. You know, you keep getting better, and racing with good drivers, with fantastic drivers as Philip Hammer, who's been absolutely dominant. It gives you a very good understanding of how races actually are.
Yeah, and here you see Philip Hammer going through the stadium section for one last time. This is his last lap of the race on lap 18. He is in the lead, coming around this last turn, heading onto the straight. I don't think he can mess it up now unless he gets real excited on the throttle. And here we go, crossing that finish line. Congratulations, Philip Hammer, for the win of that race. Yuri Steinmetz coming across in second. Bjorn Ritter coming across in third, taking that final podium position. Beautiful drive from Bjorn Ritter, amateur division driver, and Alexander Wilford in fourth, Thorsten Seifert in fifth, Gordon Ramsay, and Danny Hugendorn.
Danny Hugendorn pits.
He's going to have to take a drive-through. That's going to put him down a lot of positions, all that work, a little bit thrown out the window, unfortunately. So that's Gordon Ramsay now in sixth, Ryan Winfeld in seventh, Danny Hugendorn. We'll find out where he ends up. Julian M. Lynch in ninth, Jason Lyons in 10th, Duncan Watts 11th, Gherkin Demir in 12th, Alistair Hatcher in 13, Carl Ribbing in 14, Misha Berger in 15, Barry Clayton in 16, Igor Kozin 17. Having another unfortunate race. I'm sure he'll be able to turn that around at some point this season, maybe just not this one. Glenn Humberstone coming across in 18. Mikey Howanick in 19, Lee Holmes in 20. I'm not sure what happened to Lee Holmes. Corey Lazarus in 21. Not sure what happened to him either. Manrique Valverde, you're here in the broadcast booth, and yeah.
So I believe that this was a fantastic race that we just saw. I must say that my main drivers that for me had the best day so far, of course, Philip Hammer in the top spot. Absolutely dominant the entire race, qualifying first, winning the first race as well, and I believe he qualified second or first. I don't remember. First. So he's been championship leader for a reason, as I was letting you know. Alexander Wilford, also a very impressive race. Bjorn Ritter, both amateur drivers who did an amazing job. Unfortunately, turn of events for Igor Kos, who, even though he was absolutely dominant in practice, he did a fantastic practice lap time, an amazing first race, an amazing qualifying. Unfortunately, how these races are, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's part of the challenge that we actually like to throw at our drivers with this reverse grid top 8. You know what? You won that race, and we're going to now challenge your racecraft and luck, to be honest, to put you in the 8th spot, and you got to try and work your way through that field. It takes a lot of patience. Like I said, again, a lot of luck in some situations. You got to make your own luck, and it's not easy to try and figure out how to put that package together. And that is what we're looking for here in our season standings and our season championship series, the driver with the whole package. Philip Hammer's mastered this, and Yuri Steinmetz And I'm sure that Igor Koz one day will master this as well. I'm definitely looking forward to that day when he does, and to try and take the hammer down from his top spot. Igor's got the pace, and I'm sure he'll figure out in due time. So after seeing that race, what were your your favorite moments, and and yeah.
So having Philip Hammer from 8th spot to 1st spot is impressive. The Bjorn Ritter also not cracking under pressure at any moment is key. Um, I mean, we can also highlight the race of Duncan Watts, who had been 19th and recover up to 10th. Um, I mean, I believe we have a very, very good field, a very great race that we just watched, and we have a couple races left for the championship to be over. Um, so yeah, a fantastic race.
Definitely. And with Duncan Watts up there with Jason Lyons, he's now able to start challenging Jason Lyons for P1 in the amateur division. If you look at the points, we are now going to be adding a second drop week. And so this is going to be a real battle for the top of the amateur division, especially with Alexander Wilford. Now, with the pace that he's just recently found, it's going to be quite an interesting battle for amateur division. Glenn Humberstone didn't have the race that he was hoping for, but with his season points in amateur, he's also up there. It's going to be top 5, I believe it is, are going to be duking it out in season standings all the way to the very end. So I'm real excited to see how that goes. And yeah, if there's any, I don't think any amateur driver, or I don't think any drivers are coming in for the interview. So I guess that will just be the end of our race. Congratulations to all of our drivers. And once again, congratulations to Philip Hammer, Yuri Steinmetz, and Bjorn Ritter for not cracking under pressure, and Alexander Wilford. Wow. And just all of these drivers on our grid for the good, the bad, and everything that's happened all in between. Beautiful race, everyone. And I guess I'll see you guys all next week on Thursday and Sunday. Have a good night.
Thank you very much for the opportunity and for having me here tonight. Thank you a lot, Michael, and kudos to Philip Hammer as well.
And that's it. Have a good evening, guys, and we'll see you later.